The billionaire rushed into his house, unannounced on Christmas Day. His coat was still on when the front door clicked shut behind him. He took 2 steps forward. Then suddenly, someone ran at him. A hand clamped over his mouth. His breath stopped. His body slammed backward into the dark. "Don't make a sound," a woman whispered, shaking. "Please." It was Cynthia, his black maid. She dragged him into a narrow storage closet and shut the door just enough to leave a thin crack. Her finger pressed hard against his lips. Raphael could hear his own heart pounding in his ears. Footsteps moved across the marble floor. Slow, careless, close. Through the crack, Raphael saw his wife step into view, then his younger brother. They stood inches apart, laughing softly, relaxed, like nothing in the world was wrong. "He should be gone by now," his brother said. His wife sighed, irritated. "I doubled the dose in his green juice this morning." Raphael's legs nearly gave out. The dizziness, the weakness, the sickness he had ignored, all made sense in that instant. Christmas was not a surprise. It was the final day. Cynthia tightened her grip on his wrist. Her eyes locked on his, filled with fear and certainty. "If you walk out there," she whispered, "you won't make it to tonight." And just like that, Raphael realized the most dangerous place in the world was his own home, and the only person trying to save him was the woman he barely noticed. Christmas Day in Houston, Texas, was supposed to be easy for Raphael Justin. He wanted 1 calm hour at home before the phone started again. So he left his office early, drove straight to the mansion, and told no one. No call, no text, no warning. He wanted to surprise his wife, Lauren, and prove he could do normal things. The gate opened. The yard lights were on, the tree lights on the windows too, but the house felt too quiet. Raphael grabbed a small gift bag and walked fast to the front door. He pictured Lauren smiling, maybe teasing him for coming home without notice. He unlocked the door and stepped inside. The smell was wrong. Not food, not candles. It was a strong, clean smell mixed with something bitter, like medicine that had spilled and dried. Raphael stood still, listening. No music, no voices, no kitchen noise. He took 2 steps into the hall. Someone ran at him from the side. A hand clamped over his mouth, tight. A second hand grabbed his wrist and yanked him back into the dark. The gift bag dropped. Raphael tried to shout, but his voice died under the palm. "Sir, please," a woman whispered, shaking. "Do not make a sound." Raphael knew the voice. Cynthia, his black maid. She dragged him into a narrow storage closet near the kitchen and pulled the door almost shut. Not locked, just barely open, a thin crack to see through. Cynthia put 1 finger up, a warning. Then she held her breath like she was listening to the walls. Footsteps crossed the marble floor outside, slow and calm. Not a stranger, someone who belonged. Cynthia leaned close. "If they hear you," she whispered, "you will not leave this house." Raphael forced himself to breathe through his nose. He leaned to the crack. He saw the living room and the Christmas tree. Perfect gifts, perfect lights. And right beside the tree stood Lauren, dressed like she was going somewhere, not like she was relaxing at home. She held a glass of green juice. Across from her stood Raphael's younger brother, Evan, smiling like he had no worries. Lauren laughed softly and touched Evan's arm. Raphael's hands went numb. Evan spoke first. "He is still standing," he said. "How is he still standing?" Lauren's voice stayed calm. "I doubled the dose," she replied. "This morning, in his green juice." Evan let out a small laugh. "And he still went to work." Lauren's face tightened. "Then tonight we'll fix it." The words hit Raphael like a hard slap. Every dizzy spell, every weak morning. The times he had to sit down in his office and pretend he was fine. He had blamed long hours. He had blamed age. He had blamed anything except this. His own wife, his own brother. Cynthia's fingers gripped his wrist, steady and firm. She was telling him, "Stay quiet. Stay alive. Lauren turned toward the kitchen. Raphael pulled back into the closet as her heels clicked closer, then stopped. A drawer opened. Metal clinked. A spoon stirred in glass. Lauren spoke again. Lower now. Cynthia has been watching me. Evan answered, sharp. Then get rid of her. Lauren sighed. After tonight, Cynthia did not blink. Her face showed pain for 1 second, then control, like she had already decided what she would do. Lauren walked away. The footsteps faded. Raphael leaned against the shelf, trying to keep his legs steady. Cynthia waited, listening until the house went quiet again. Then she opened the door and motioned. They slipped into the back hallway, the one staff used. Raphael's throat was dry. Cynthia, he whispered, why are you doing this? She did not waste time. Because they are killing you, she said, and because I saw it. Raphael shook his head, like that could erase what he heard. I need proof, he said. I need to face them. Cynthia grabbed his sleeve and held him back. Not here, she said. Not today. This is my home, Raphael whispered. Cynthia's voice softened, but it stayed strong. It is their trap, she said. This house is the fastest place for you to die. A door closed upstairs. Both of them froze. Cynthia pulled him toward the side exit. They passed the kitchen counter. The green juice sat there, ready, with a small ribbon beside it like a Christmas joke. Raphael's hand moved toward his pocket for his phone. Cynthia caught it. No calls, she said. I can call security, Raphael whispered. I can call the police. Cynthia shook her head. Your friends can be bought, she said. One call and they know where you are. Raphael stared at her. How do you know? Cynthia swallowed. I heard names, she said. I saw men come when you were gone. And Lauren asked me about my family, like she wanted to know who would miss me. Raphael felt sick. Cynthia reached into her apron pocket and showed him a tiny plastic bag, folded tight. Inside was pale powder. I took this from the trash last week, she said. Lauren said it was vitamins, but I watched her hide it, and I watched her measure it. I kept it because my gut told me something was wrong. Raphael stared at the bag like it could burn him. We can test it, he whispered. Cynthia nodded once. Yes, but not with anyone we do not trust, she said. Not yet, right now. Cynthia opened the side door. Warm air rushed in, thick and wet. She pointed to her old sedan by the fence. Get in, she said. Now. Raphael hesitated and looked back at the bright tree in the living room, at the life he thought was real. Then Lauren's voice floated down the hall, sweet and sharp. Raphael, are you home? Cynthia's face went still. She pushed him toward the car, and Raphael understood that the next sound he made might be his last. Raphael slid into Cynthia's old sedan and pulled the door shut without a sound. Cynthia started the engine and backed out fast, steady, like she had done this before. In the mirror, Raphael saw the mansion hallway light turn on. A shadow crossed the glass. Lauren. Raphael dropped low in the seat. Cynthia drove behind the hedges, took the service road, and reached the gate. The sensor beeped once. The gate opened. No guards appeared. No one stopped them. They rolled out into the street, and the gate closed like nothing was wrong. Raphael tried to breathe, but his chest felt tight. His mind kept replaying Lauren's voice, calm and annoyed, like she was talking about laundry, not his life. He reached for his phone. I need to call security, he whispered, or the police. Cynthia caught his wrist. No calls, she said. Cynthia, they are poisoning me. I know, she answered. That is why you cannot call. Phones can be traced. Watches can be traced. Cars can be traced. Your wife has access to your systems. Your brother has money to buy people. One call gives them your place. Raphael stared at her. The word buy made his stomach twist. He had used money his whole life, but he had never thought of it being used to erase him. I have a friend, Raphael said. Captain Miles. He will help." Cynthia shook her head. "I heard that name in your house," she said. "I heard it with your brother's voice. I do not trust him." Raphael wanted to fight her on it, but a wave of sickness rose. He leaned forward, breathing through it, feeling weak, angry, and ashamed all at once. He was a man who signed billion-dollar deals, but he could not even keep his own body steady. Cynthia drove through Houston streets dressed for Christmas. Lights, traffic, people with bags, families smiling. Raphael watched from the back seat like a stranger looking through glass. He felt cut off from normal life, like he was already gone. Cynthia turned into a scrapyard lot and stopped near a bin of broken parts. Metal and old cars stood in piles. A worker glanced at them, then looked away. "What are we doing here?" Raphael asked. Cynthia held out her hand. "Your phone," she said. "Your watch." Raphael hesitated. His watch was a gift from his father. His phone held everything, his accounts, his contacts, his codes. Giving them up felt like losing his name. Cynthia did not beg. She just waited. Raphael unclasped the watch and placed it in her palm. Then he handed her the phone. Cynthia rolled down the window and threw both into the bin. They disappeared with a hard clank. Raphael flinched. "That was my life." Cynthia kept her voice calm. "That was their map," she said. "Now your signal ends here. If they track you, it stops in a scrapyard. That buys time." Time was the one thing Raphael needed. Cynthia drove into a part of Houston Raphael never visited. Small houses, cracked sidewalks, puddles, barking dogs, kids on bikes. People looked at the car, then looked away. Cynthia parked behind her house in a narrow alley and pointed to the back door. "Head down," she said. "Stay close." Raphael followed her inside. The house was small, but clean. It smelled like soap and fried food. A tiny plastic Christmas tree sat on a table. No gifts. A single red bough hung on the wall like someone tried to keep hope alive with almost nothing. Cynthia locked the door, then locked it again. She closed the curtains. "Sit," she said. Raphael sat on the couch, and the moment he did, his body gave up. Heat rushed through him. Sweat soaked his shirt. The room tilted. "I'm fine," he tried to say. Cynthia touched his forehead and pulled her hand back. "You are burning," she said. She brought a bowl of water and a cloth and wiped his face. Her movements were quick but gentle. Raphael stared at her hands and felt a sharp pain in his chest, not from sickness, from guilt. Those hands had cleaned his home, washed his dishes, made his bed, and he had barely learned her name. "Why are you helping me?" he whispered. Cynthia did not look away. "Because I saw what they were doing," she said. "And because I know what it feels like to be powerless." She paused, then spoke lower. "My brother died because someone cut corners with medicine. People said it was bad luck. It was not. It was greed. Since then, I watch. I listen. I keep what looks wrong." Raphael remembered the small bag of powder Cynthia had shown him. He believed her. He also believed something worse, that Lauren had planned this for a long time. He tried to sit up. "We need proof," he said. "We need to expose them." "We will," Cynthia said. "But first you live." A knock hit the front door. Raphael froze. Cynthia lifted one finger for silence, then moved to the curtain and lifted a corner. A car sat across the street with its engine running. The driver did not get out. Cynthia lowered the curtain. "I do not know who that is," she whispered. The knock came again, harder, like a warning. A woman's voice floated through the door, too cheerful for that hour. "Cynthia, you inside. I saw a strange car." The voice stopped, listening. Raphael held his breath. Cynthia's jaw tightened. If it was a neighbor, it was danger, because questions travel fast. If it was a trap, opening the door could end them. Cynthia turned to Raphael, voice low but firm. "Stay here," she said. "If I tell you to run, you run out the back." Raphael nodded. His mouth felt dry. He had never been this close to losing everything. Not money, not power. His life, Cynthia took one slow step toward the door. The knock came again. "Cynthia," a woman called. "Open up. I saw a strange car." Cynthia held up one finger to Raphael, then walked to the door like this was a normal Christmas visit. She opened it only a little, the chain still on. Mrs. Parker stood on the porch in a bright red sweater, holding a plate covered in foil. Her smile looked friendly, but her eyes kept moving. To the driveway, to the street, back to Cynthia's face. "I was worried," Mrs. Parker said. "You came in late, and now there's a car I don't know." Cynthia kept her voice calm. "It's my cousin," she said. "He dropped me off, then left." Mrs. Parker lifted the plate. "I made extra food," she said. "I brought you some." "Thank you," Cynthia said, taking it. Mrs. Parker did not leave. She leaned closer, trying to see past Cynthia's shoulder. Cynthia shifted to block the view, smooth and quiet. "You look tired," Mrs. Parker said. "You okay?" Cynthia nodded once. "Just a long week." Mrs. Parker pointed her chin toward the street. "That car across the way has been sitting there," she said. "It's not normal. I don't want trouble near my house." Cynthia's grip tightened on the plate. "I understand," she said. "If I see anything, I'll call." Mrs. Parker studied her for a long moment. "If you're hiding something," she said softly, "I won't protect it." Cynthia held her gaze. "I'm not hiding trouble," she said. "Merry Christmas." "Merry Christmas," Mrs. Parker replied, and walked away. Cynthia shut the door, locked it, then rested her forehead against the wood. For a second, her shoulders shook. Raphael sat on the couch with his hood up. His head ached. His stomach felt wrong, like his body was still fighting what Lauren put in him. "I'm sorry," Raphael whispered. Cynthia looked at him. "Don't be sorry," she said. "Be quiet and be ready." End quote. Raphael swallowed. "I heard my wife say she would finish me tonight," he said. "On Christmas." Cynthia's face softened, then tightened again. "People can smile and still do evil," she said. "That's why we move smart." Raphael rubbed his hands together. "I paid for guards," he said, "and the danger was sitting at my table." "You trusted," Cynthia said. "That's not a sin." Outside, the car across the street went silent. The engine stopped. A door closed. Cynthia moved to the curtain and lifted a corner. A man stood by the sidewalk, head down under a cap. He did not look lost. Raphael tried to stand, then sat back when the room tilted. Cynthia's hand went to his shoulder. "Stay," she whispered. The man walked up to Cynthia's porch. The doorknob turned, slow and careful, like testing. Cynthia's mouth went tight. She picked up a kitchen knife, not to fight, but because her hands needed something solid. She stood behind the door and waited. A voice came through the wood, low and sure. "Cynthia." Raphael's chest turned to ice. "Captain Miles," Raphael whispered. Cynthia looked back at him, eyes hard. Captain Miles knocked once, gentle. "Cynthia," he said. "Open up. I'm here to help." Cynthia stayed still. Captain Miles tried again, warmer. "Raphael," he called, "I know you're inside. Your wife is worried. She says you're sick. Let me take you to the hospital." Raphael heard the trap in the words, "Wife, first, not safety." He looked at Cynthia. "What if he's real?" he whispered. Cynthia leaned in close. "If he was real," she whispered, "he would not come alone, and he would not talk like your wife owns you." "Well, be sad," Captain Miles sighed. "Last chance," he said. "If you don't open the door, I'll force it. I don't want to arrest you, Cynthia." Cynthia's face went calm in a scary way. She pointed to the back door. "Move," she whispered. Raphael pushed himself up. His legs shook. Cynthia grabbed his elbow and held him steady. They crossed the small kitchen, stepped out the back, and slipped into the alley. Cynthia led him between fences and bins. She stopped once to listen, then pulled him forward again. They reached a side street with a small building and a bright cross in the window. A sign read, New Hope Church. Cynthia knocked 3 times. A man opened the door. He was older, with tired eyes and a kind face. He looked at Cynthia, then at Raphael, and his expression changed. "Pastor James," Cynthia said, voice breaking for the first time. "Please." Pastor James stepped aside. "Come in," he said. "Quick." They entered. The church was quiet, plain, and warm. Raphael sat in a chair, breathing hard. Cynthia stood near him, still ready to run. Pastor James locked the door, then turned. "Tell me," he said, "what's happening?" Raphael's voice came out rough. "They're trying to kill me," he said. "My wife and my brother." Pastor James looked at Cynthia. "And you pulled him out?" Cynthia nodded. "I heard them," she said. "I have proof, but not enough. We need to do this right." Raphael lifted his head. "We need evidence that holds," he said, "or they will twist this and bury her." Pastor James nodded once. "Then we move careful," he said. "No panic, no noise. We build the truth piece by piece. I have sent it." Pastor James led them to a back room with a couch and a table. He brought water and a medical box. Cynthia opened her palm and showed the plastic bag of powder she had saved. Pastor James wrapped it in a clean cloth and set it aside. "We can test this," he said. "A nurse from our church works at a clinic. She trusts me." "No police yet." Raphael looked at Cynthia. "You risked your life for me," he said. "And I treated you like you did not matter." Cynthia's eyes filled, but her voice stayed firm. "Live first," she whispered. "Then make it right." Outside, somewhere in the distance, sirens wailed. The church was quiet inside, but outside Houston was still awake. Christmas music drifted from distant houses. Cars passed. People laughed like nothing bad could happen. Raphael sat in the back room on a small couch. His fever had eased, but his body still felt weak. Cynthia stood near the door, listening. Pastor James opened a first aid box and checked Raphael's eyes with a small light. "You need a doctor," Pastor James said. "Not a hospital," Raphael replied. "If Lauren paid Captain Miles, a hospital is not safe." Pastor James nodded. "Then we use someone we trust," he said. He made one call, short and quiet. When he ended it, he looked at Cynthia. "Nurse Kayla is coming," he said. "She works at a clinic. She won't talk." Cynthia glanced at the powder on the table. "We also need proof from the house," she said. "Words won't save you." Raphael stared at the bag. "Lauren will act like I'm confused," he said. "She will blame Cynthia." Pastor James leaned forward. "Then we give the world something they cannot deny," he said. A heavy knock hit the front door of the church. Another knock came, slower. A man's voice followed. "Pastor James, it's Captain Miles." Raphael felt his mouth go dry. Cynthia's hand moved toward the back exit, but Pastor James raised his palm. "Stay," he whispered. "If you run, he knows." Pastor James walked to the front and opened the door. "Captain," he said, "Merry Christmas." "Merry Christmas," Captain Miles answered, but his tone was hard. "I need to look inside." "Why?" Pastor James asked. "A woman called," Captain Miles said. "She said a suspicious man is hiding here. A missing husband." Pastor James stood still. "This is a church," he said. "Do you have a warrant?" Captain Miles gave a tight smile. "Pastor, don't make this hard," he said. "His wife is scared. He needs help." Pastor James spoke slow. "A scared wife is not a warrant," he said. "If you want to search, bring papers." Silence hung between them. Captain Miles leaned closer. "If you are hiding him, you are risking your life," he said. Pastor James did not move. "I know what risk looks like," he replied. "Today it is on my steps." Captain Miles stared, then backed away. "This is not done," he said. Pastor James locked the door and returned to the hall. "He is fishing," he said. "Lauren sent him." Raphael stepped out from behind the wall. "So she already started a story," Raphael said. Cynthia's voice stayed low. "She will say you ran off," she said. "Anything that buys her time." A soft knock came at the side door. Cynthia checked through the window. A woman in blue scrubs stood there with a bag. "Nurse Kayla," Cynthia whispered. Pastor James let her in. Nurse Kayla was young, with calm eyes and quick hands. She checked Raphael's pulse, his temperature, and his breathing. "You were drugged," she said. "Not once. Over time." Raphael swallowed. "Can you prove it?" he asked. Nurse Kayla nodded. "If I test blood," she said, "and if I test that powder." She took a small sample from Raphael's finger. Then she sealed a tiny amount of powder in a vial. "I'll take these to my clinic," she said. "Quick tests. Not perfect, but enough." "How long?" Raphael asked. 2 hours, she said. "Stay here. Don't move." When she left, Cynthia sat for the first time. Her shoulders dropped. Raphael looked at her. "You saved me," he said. Cynthia stared at the floor. "I did what was right," she said. Raphael's voice cracked. "I had guards, cameras, gates," he said. "Yet I was dying at my table." Cynthia raised her eyes. "If you live," she said, "use your power to tell the truth. Protect the people you ignore." Raphael nodded. "I will," he said, "and I will protect you." Pastor James pulled a notebook from a drawer. "We list what we need," he said. "Proof of poison, proof of who gave it, a safe way to stop them." Raphael leaned forward. "I installed a backup camera system," he said. "Lauren doesn't know. It records to a drive in my office safe behind a picture frame." Cynthia's face tightened. "Your office is in the house," she said. "Yes," Raphael said. "But if we get that drive, we can show her mixing the powder." Pastor James nodded. "Then we plan a careful trip," he said. "No police yet, not until we hold the proof." Outside, the day turned darker. Christmas evening came closer, the same night Lauren said would end Raphael. Pastor James opened a small metal box and took out plain keys. "These are for the church van," he said. "No fancy plates, no tracking." Cynthia found a jacket and a knit cap and handed them to Raphael. "Your face is known," she said. "Tonight you look like a tired man going to see family." Raphael pulled the cap low and stared into a dusty mirror. He looked smaller, almost ordinary, and that scared him more than he expected. He pictured his office, the safe behind the picture frame, the narrow hall that creaked near the stairs. He remembered where the cameras stopped. Cynthia watched him, then squeezed his hand once. "We move quiet," she said, "and we do not separate." Nurse Kayla called. Pastor James put the phone on speaker. "It's poison," Nurse Kayla said. "It matches the powder. Small doses over time. A double dose could stop his heart." Raphael closed his eyes. Cynthia pressed her hand to her mouth. Nurse Kayla continued. "If they think he's alive, they will move fast," she said. "Do not give them time." Pastor James looked at Raphael. "We go for the drive tonight," he said, "while they still believe their plan is working." Raphael stood. His legs shook once, then held. He looked at Cynthia. "We go together," he said. "We come back with the truth." The church van rolled through Houston on Christmas night. Pastor James drove. Cynthia watched the mirrors. Raphael stayed low in the back, cap down, trying to stay steady. They reached the street near the mansion. Tree lights glowed in the windows like nothing was wrong. Pastor James parked a block away. A car slowed near the corner. Headlights swept across them once, then moved on. Raphael felt his breath catch. Cynthia guided him behind a parked truck until the street went quiet again. Only then did they step out. Cynthia spoke low. "No talking. Move fast." They used the side path to the service gate. Cynthia entered the code. The gate beeped and opened. Inside, soft music played, the kind meant to calm people. Raphael felt sick at the thought. He followed Cynthia through the staff corridor, away from the main rooms. They paused at the kitchen corner. Voices carried. Lauren said, He always comes down for dinner, Evan replied. Or he's already down. Cynthia pulled Raphael on. At Raphael's office door, he unlocked it with a key hidden in his shoe. Inside, his wedding photo hung above the desk. He did not look at it. He lifted the frame, found the hidden panel, and opened the safe with shaking fingers. His legs felt weak as he crossed the room. For weeks he had blamed work for the sickness, but now he could feel the poison still sitting in him like a slow fire. He opened a drawer, and his fingers brushed a small card Cynthia once left on his desk. "Merry Christmas, thank you." He had dropped it there and forgotten it. Shame rose in his throat. Cynthia stood in the doorway, shoulders squared, eyes scanning for danger. Raphael understood he was alive, because she noticed what he refused to see, and she chose courage. He grabbed the backup drive and pressed it into Cynthia's hand. "If they search me, they find it," he whispered. Cynthia slid it into her pocket. A floorboard creaked outside. They froze. A key turned. Cynthia pulled Raphael behind the curtain by the window. They held still. The door opened. Evan walked in. Lauren followed, holding a glass of green juice. Evan searched the desk drawers, fast. "The captain went to the church," he said. The pastor blocked him. Lauren's voice was tight. "Then, Raphael is alive." Evan's jaw clenched. "Then we finish it at the charity dinner. Cameras everywhere. We act worried. We say he's confused. We get him into a hospital bed." Lauren nodded. "Tonight," she said. "No mistakes." She looked around the room. "Cynthia has been acting strange." Evan scoffed. "Cynthia is nothing." Raphael's fists tightened. Cynthia stayed calm. They left. The door shut. Cynthia waited, then whispered, "Now." They slipped out through the corridor and back to the service gate. The van was running before they reached it. The charity dinner was downtown at a hotel ballroom dressed for Christmas. They entered through a side staff door. Nurse Kayla waited with a small laptop. Raphael handed her the drive. She plugged it in and clicked a file. Video appeared. Lauren in the kitchen, measuring pale powder into a glass. Evan beside her. Lauren stirring, smiling, carrying the drink away. Raphael's throat burned. "That's proof," he said. Kayla nodded. "It matches what's in your blood," she said. Pastor James said, "No local police." Kayla made one call. A federal agent arrived and watched the clip twice. Her face stayed hard. "This is attempted murder," she said. Raphael pointed to Cynthia. "She saved me," he said. "Protect her." The agent nodded. "We will. Are you ready to face them?" Raphael took one slow breath. "Yes." Agents moved into place. Behind the ballroom curtain, Raphael heard Lauren speaking on the microphone, sweet and smooth, wishing everyone Merry Christmas. Cynthia touched his arm. "Stay close," she whispered. Raphael stepped into the ballroom. The room went quiet in waves. Heads turned. Someone dropped a glass. Lauren's smile froze. Evan stepped back. Lauren hurried down from the stage, hands open like a loving wife. "Raphael," she said, "where have you been?" Raphael kept his voice calm. "You were not scared," he said. "You were angry I was still alive." Lauren's mouth opened, then closed. The federal agent stepped forward. "Lauren Justin, you are under arrest." Cuffs clicked. Evan tried to disappear into the crowd, but another agent caught him. "Evan Justin, you are under arrest." Evan shouted, "This is a lie." Raphael faced the guests. "It's not a lie," he said. "They poisoned me. I have the video. Cynthia heard them plan it. Cynthia pulled me out before they finished it." Phones lifted. Cameras recorded. Lauren's eyes flashed with hate, then fear, as she was led away. Raphael turned to Cynthia and held her hand where people could see. "I owe my life to her," he said. "She did not do it for money. She did it because it was right." Cynthia's eyes filled. She tried to pull back out of habit, but Raphael held on gently. "You won't be invisible again," he whispered. Cynthia whispered, "I only wanted you to live." And Raphael nodded. tears finally falling today. The ballroom stayed silent as Lauren and Evan were taken out. Outside, luxury cars waited at the curb. Raphael walked past them and opened the church van door for Cynthia. "Come with me," he said. "Not to work, to live." Cynthia looked at him, then nodded and climbed in. In the van, Raphael kept staring at Cynthia's hands in her lap. They were worn, but steady. "I'm sorry," he said, voice low. "I treated you like you did not matter." Cynthia did not smile. "Fix it with what you do next," she said. Pastor James nodded. "Truth first," he said, then healing. The van drove into the night, away from the mansion, away from the lie, toward a life built on truth. Dear viewers, this story is not just about a billionaire and a maid. It is about life, trust, and the kind of courage that shows up when you least expect it. Raphael Justin had money, power, and a big house, yet none of that could save him when betrayal came from the people closest to him. Cynthia had no wealth, no guards, no influence, yet she had something stronger, a clean heart, sharp eyes, and the courage to protect a life even when it put her own life at risk. Sometimes the people you overlook are the ones God uses to rescue you. Sometimes the person you call staff is the only one who will stand when everyone else is smiling and planning your fall. And sometimes, Christmas is not about gifts. It is about a second chance and the truth that sets you free. Now, we want to hear from you. Please comment where you are watching from and tell us what you learned from this story. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this message today. And if you want more stories from us, comment "more stories," and you will be the first to get the next emotional stories. Before you go, answer these 3 questions in the comments. 1. If you were Raphael, who would you trust when everything starts to feel wrong? 2. Do you think Cynthia should stay close to Raphael after what happened? Or should she move on with her life? 3. What is one lesson this story taught you about loyalty and the people we ignore every day?